Yeah. 1 2 1 2. Check check. You already know what it is. Morris MC. Yeah, yo. All praise due to Allah, no bow ties. On my tracks, rappers get the warp speed blow-bys. Stay in my lane around corners, one man, no eyes, Cyclops Bay. Covenant not new like pole lights. Running a fraud, I you paid 4,300. Lord, this in the legend. Typical coon and reverence, but people support getting played rock for birthrights. It's not about fiat, your energy quenches their thirst, right? Vampires and warlocks speak with finessing their speech. Subconscious mind traps won't release, detecting a breach. They dissing their prophet, dually they dissing their creed. Before you follow dirty Moors, listen to me. Every Moor is not your bro, most of them sold out. Axe Khalid, Malcolm Shabazz, and the ones that know about getting stabbed in their back and talking about rights. Minus the civil, notwithstanding, like a cripple. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, the priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, Middlemen come calling themselves prophets and godsends, claiming they're sovereign, following hillbilly nonsense, saying Moors are wrong, taking things out of context. Stupidity of conscious blacks is an inferior complex, following leaders that won't go with you off the cliff. Lying about slavery and even about slave ships, robbing the ignorant, saying papers filed federal under the jurisdiction of attorney generals, claiming straw men for credit in a debt system. Yes, bonds from the treasury are really from the IMF. I am just saying what I see from the conscious, begging for donations while acting obnoxious with no solutions. 1,500 for service products that cost 50 cents to print. These black devils are off their rockers. They don't feel awkward giving state ID to coppers. Highwaymen think killing the bay is gonna stop us. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead.
We declare our rights on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Black history fine. You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh, what do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? Oh, come on. Yeah. But, I'm Jewish. Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month? There is. Oh. Why not? Do you want one? No. I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history. How are we going to get rid of racism? Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man. Yeah. And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
in my lecture. No El Hajj Malik repeat, I betcha. Sergeant of the Moorish Unified Front toward Islam. Twist your arm like a blunt, don't spark it. But like Tiger Claw, debark it. Before anyone saw, not Cain, but I'm raw. Long live Iron Sheik, slaying the weak. Rhyming about rims spinning on their cheek. Making a mockery of the art and hard work put in by the veterans. Now they gotta work. Guru in a coma, rap heart attack. I'm sure a premier beat would bring the guard back. Can't give it too much time in my rhyme, but I know mostly in rhyme they doing the crime. Build a ball court, a whack remedy. Living right around me is my worst enemy. I see that they look just like me. Award for hip hop when you're not an MC. Mastering the ceremony, very lonely. Rapping genuine, riding the beat ponies. Scrap the DJ and dancer like a phony. If you see me in some skinny jeans, you know they clone me. If you hear me rapping about crap, I'm Coke B. So do me like Big L or J and smoke me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. If you hear I killed the system, Grand Sheik, just know they're trying to get me down the true Ali road. Release me into the hands of Morse Dirty, knowing that they conspire and wanna hurt me. Offering me dishes with glass splinters, so they'll give me a ride, leave my jacket in the winter. Try to get me through Shikes with no weakness. Don't get it twisted cause you see us speechless. I put more trust in Jupiter KTS than fake Moors with more records than JBS. Telling me to save, but just wanna be paid. Don't wanna pay dues, but be men that's made. Pushing like to travel, but don't defend. And only went backs against the wall, they wanna befriend. That's why I watch no face and beg no friend. Cause only out of chambers will be there in the end. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. So fly, no lie, so hot, I know this. Sniff your rap lines, you're so hopeless. Clones and drones, skull and boning, getting homes for a loan, and names chroming. Crap shooting, watermelon eating, mad cow, bird flu, chicken stealing, human raccoon running through daisies, selling out your race cause you're so lazy. Think you want a level when he owns your masters, and master is holding his guard in laughter. Thinking you're balling, not me you're fooling. Armchair revolutionaries crooning, hot like Mims, lynched from trees called Tims. Posing with your fat ass on covers of Maxim. Big fly eye shades under big brims. In some tight jeans you shouldn't wear, you're too slim. Can't stand your flow, we got me snoozing, drooling, falling asleep from your crooning. If I go to your show, it's me that's booing. Even if I may lay with my blood pooling. Go back to the essence with those old schooling. In the next realm I'm just keeping it moving. Don't need a whip, I'm comments, I'm cruising. I'm the spirits, you need a bottle, stay boozing. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me.
As he walked past the city's castle, he interrupted his return and climbed the stone ramp that led to the top of the wall. From there he could see Africa in the distance. Someone had once told him that it was from there the Moors had come to occupy all of Spain.
Crazy! 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 The gods must be 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 crazy!
What you looking up for, God? I'm talking to you. Weed smelling like dead bodies, loving a shoot. Baby goes popping out for government checks. So the honorable moms, no disrespect. I'm not talking about the matriarch, but what the get beat, died, fake comrade, two-faced nigga. Stab you in your back multiple times. Homicides and manslaughter. Our friendship on the rise. Watch the gods with pseudo doctrines, big shades. I stay back and listen to old school stay saying. Around the gardens, always have a bag of crystals in demons' faces. Amethyst missiles. Dirty Moors teach the factors will make you officials. When study is beneficial.
Crazy, crazy. The gods must be crazy. Crazy, crazy. The gods must be crazy. Crazy, crazy. The gods must be crazy. Crazy, crazy. The gods must be crazy.
Enslaved by your own, didn't listen to prophet. Now you're living in sin. One tube, I can't stop it. You made your bed, lay down. Now you see standing. Notwithstanding in a dead status, birth like abandoned. Rather stay dirty instead of turning your card in. Then take your fares off if you're not turning your card in.
Take your fares off if you're not turning your card in. Being the Moors we don't want around. Playing. There's a lot more.
Islam.
So you saw the two fairies arguing?
Yeah. Yeah, that's to look like the blind leading the blind.
Right now. Remember, we told people. Remember that we told people that if people are playing games with you, don't let them play games with you. It's time. It's time. Like we say, we can't even get the Moors to see the big picture. Speaking about the big picture, Islam to brother Amazite Bey and his Moabite and their daughter, because Moor survived a car crash. Talk to the Moor today. So Moor survived a car crash. Him and the family are all right. They're recovering. But as we know, the Moor drives commercially. Being that he's recovering, he's not able to do his work that he's supposed to do. Just waiting to, get himself in a good place so he can get back out there. So he's just waiting right now. So GoFundMe.com/4x3 FDN-hour-miracle-baby. GoFundMe.com/4x3 FDN-hour-miracle-baby. Right. A little more into the story because of the whole miracle baby. Mom was pregnant when they had the accident. So baby had to do the premature, but everything's straight. So if you can, just go over there, support the Moors with something, because, that's our Moor. That's our Moor. That's our Moor that brought us Amazite Bey Show.
Right.
That's our Moor that went on C-SPAN. Go watch the Amazite Bey on C-SPAN. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Moor invited me to his house. Let me lay my head in his house.
Moor had us eating out the plates, using the same forks.
Yep.
right? Don't think because, you know, people go underground, they're not Moors still. Or you don't hear from people, you think that they're not, you know, still Moors. Like they fell off like some of these sellouts out here that fall off of this. And this is not some boosting stuff or whatever. Moore had me at the crib. Moore introduced me to his family, took me out to eat food. Moore dealt with me proper when he went to Pittsburgh. Proper. So if you rep some Kudrow and Canaanland and all that stuff, even if it's $1, send $1. Even if it's that. We got 12,000 subscribers. Everybody send $1. Help out the Moor who put in mad work. Did not for no acknowledgement, didn't look to get nothing, didn't whatever. Just being a Moor. So if you can, you know, if you can spare $1, try to help out our brother. Not even try, help out our brother. Right? So Islam to you heard me. Islam to you heard me.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that, man. He better get that trademark. That's coin. That's the Amazite thing right there. You heard me?
We already know. We just.
That was my joint. Welcome to the Amazite Day Show, y'all. That was my joint. Yeah, he laid it out, you know.
Yeah, yo.
He really did, man. Because he was another one for me that got me be able to even speak. You know, like I was in the corner, quiet, didn't want to talk, nothing. You, Amazite, the way y'all approach to the knowledge and how y'all put it out there. Amazite was walking around the city interviewing people, just running up on them. I'm like, man, this man has all the confidence in the world. Just watching him being like that, him putting together something when it's just him and his son. It was him and his son was Moabite at the time. And I'm like, man, you put this whole thing together like that by yourself. You ain't even have no other Moors out here with you. It's just you. You got all of us to come down here. It was me, all of us. Yep. You was down there. Mother Roz was down there. He had Miz down there. Everybody was. Set and Rob was down there. Everybody was down there. And I'm like, man, you put this together by yourself. When I saw that, man, I was like, man, this man, big inspiration for me right here.
Straight.
I'm putting all that together.
Straight up. So,
Doctor said, if you're the only one, be the only one. Yeah. And he was a perfect example.
More rep that.
Yep.
Rep that. So it's not some boosting whatever. Right? It's not some boosting. This is love for our brother. Going through some adversity. That he's going through. It ain't nothing or whatever like that. You know what I mean? He's going through it.
Oh, that brother, come on. Him is like the strongest man I know.
Yeah.
He already Hurricane Katrina, yeah, he slapped that.
Yeah.
He slapped that.
Oh yeah, don't forget about that one too. Yeah.
He slapped that.
Don't forget. Just go on Canaanland Moors. Check our 2000 video archive. Go find the needle in the haystack. Amazite Bay talking about what really went down Katrina.
Oh yeah.
Go watch that. That's up there.
That's right.
But you know, we don't do what we're supposed to do, so whatever. But yeah. So here we are. We might not have class tomorrow because we got to do the mom apples tomorrow. So Figure we might as well go in today, get it done with again, because people stay playing around. So we just want to say Islam to all the Moors. Islam to all of the Moors. All of the Moors worldwide that know that we are all Moors. And sometimes when people play their self, it's really the spirit telling you something. So we want to say for the, who knows, some of these people might be bot views or whatever. But we wanted you to check out something that's done so we can see from the outside why we are where we are.
No, what we're going to do is we're going to address your post. Malcolm didn't make a post on Instagram. Malcolm didn't make a post on Instagram. You did. We're talking like men, so stop doing it. The post you made on Instagram. The post you made on Instagram.
I am Malcolm. Nigga, go call Ron L. Hunter. Call your Scientology daddies.
You said you're Malcolm?
I am
You said you're Malcolm?
Yeah.
All right, so we already know that there's no such thing as Malcolm. You know nothing called Malcolm. Forget some Malcolm X. He took the Hajj. He proclaimed his nationality. And he's Malik El-Shabazz. So don't let people fool you with some glasses and stuff like that and think that in the background, they're not ear hustling Moors. Tell you something. There's no such thing as no goddamn Malcolm X. Just like there's no such thing as goddamn Cassius Clay. FOH. Stop the BS. So you're Malcolm? Sorry, no such thing as Malcolm. That's straw man. That's actually El-Shabazz. Malik El. Now, Malik El, remember we're looking at this from the outside, right? Malik El puts on his glasses and says, I am Malik El. And look who's in the back doubting. The same guy's in the back. Same guys in the back who playing this little game that their hands are clean. They don't have nothing to do with anything. But Noble Drew Ali is dead and Malik El-Shabazz is dead. And certain people still alive playing around. Not everybody out here is dumb.
Khalid too.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. And Khalid's dead. And he came out and said he's a Moor out of his mouth.
Yeah.
So we know they killed him. We know they killed him.
Yeah.
Malcolm brought out certain people's personal stuff or whatever. That, you know, maybe he's wrong because that's a man's personal stuff. But R. Kelly and stuff like that going on and all that. And all these casting couch whoever and doctors and whoever's coming out that, oh yeah, these guys are pervs and all that stuff. Doing whatever. And he saw the BS and he left them. And then just like Clarence 13X saw the BS and he said, FOH Clarence 13 BS. Father Allah. The hell are you guys talking about? What Clarence what? I mean 13X. How am I X with all these other people? Crazy. We're gods. We're not Negro black and colored. Now look at the play again. El Hajj, Malik El Shabazz, and NOI is still fighting it. 2019. Remember, we're not talking about no goddamn Malcolm. Get out of here with the slave name. And then keep in mind, when certain people go do their kickboxing BS or whatever, they're not going up there as no young Pharaoh either. When you talk about personages and people that higher self and lower self, and Jay-Z has a nickname and he does certain stuff, and this guy has a whatever, and and then they have a second person that's who they really are, and then they have this other person that they pretend, then they can do some rituals and jump out and be. Keep playing. Because Spirit's revealing stuff now. Forget people talking and revealing stuff. That's late. Somebody talk about, hey, you know what, whatever, and everybody starts clapping. Yeah, those guys are whatever. The best. You guys are late. That thing happened in the spirit world eons ago. Why is you late? Because you strayed away from the foundation. Straight away from the foundation. Now you're playing games, debating some BS. Debating some BS. When all these people sold you out. Dude, just go, Canaanland Moors, go watch the videos. We did on all these clowns. Because they're making a mockery of you. These guys are raping you. They're not getting up tomorrow morning to go slave or whatever.
No.
They're not going up tomorrow to go do no job. They're getting up in their bed or whatever and they're chilling. Because keep playing games with these people. Trust me, he's an ear hustler. All of them are. They're just under some kind of contracts where they can't really talk.
Yep.
They're not going to put out the truth. How do they put out the truth? Their job is to keep our people in mental slavery that Noble Drew Ali told us that he came to bring us out of.
That's how they make their notes. Their job is putting people in mental slavery. They're getting notes off of that too. People are giving their finance, so-called finance, to these people because they're selling them back into mental slavery, and they're buying it. Literally. What's bugging me out, because I'm reading it. It says Young Pharaoh debate on Instagram Live. Well, Rizza Islam, Young Pharaoh debate on Instagram. What are they debating?
What are they debating?
Or they just
no subject.
What are y'all debating? They're just up there just
talking colored,
yelling.
It's all up there just talking colored, yelling.
Yep.
Politely yelling. You know, certain people have to play their little game. They kept their composure. BS. Oh yeah, the other thing that we were talking about too. The other thing that we were talking about. We were talking about because we noticed that certain people were angry. Like Hulk Smash angry. They had a vein in their head popping out and all that stuff. On some Instagram Live. And then you brought out something interesting about, anger and, your background, being that you were into sports and stuff like that seriously. What was that conversation we were having again?
Right. As soon as you mentioned it, I noticed a while back, I said, this man taking steroids. Because, being an athlete, I was around it all the time in college. The Europeans, they are upset that they can't be like us. Like, because we just naturally can get strong. Our testosterone is way better and higher. But sometimes, when you get older and some of us do take enhancements. And I noticed from being around it so much, I know when people are having, they call them roid bursts, where they just out of nowhere just angry, mad, and can't control it. Veins popping out, and I'm like, but before that, watching him with all that the acne problems, that's the first couple of stages. So as soon as I started seeing him getting a little swole, and I saw all those acne and pimples, I was like, oh man, he's taking steroids. But it wasn't. It's nothing to me because I'm used to seeing people doing it. But when people, doing steroids and yelling, and they're supposed to be conscious and stuff, and I'm like, no, that doesn't mix. Like, what you're doing is wrong. You can't be telling the people you're conscious and all of that, and you taking steroids. And when he takes the people's finance in that UFC whatever stuff, you got to pay to try out for that. So he's taking their finance and paying for the tryouts. And I think it's not no little 500 notes neither. You got to pay a couple thousand notes to even get a tryout for any of that stuff. And then you got to, so he's taking their notes and putting it towards that. He's not even, what happened to the school and all of that, and buying enhancement steroids and stuff. That's what he's doing. Yeah, like, that's what he does with their finance. And I'm looking at him like, you can't be taking it. I thought you was making a school. I thought you was supposed to be for your people. They're not, man. He's worrying about his career that he has, that he's trying to set up on the side, and his way of making that happen is by selling his people back into slavery, because he's making a profit by doing that. But his steroid burst, that's real. And it's out of nowhere. You'll see it. He'll get it when he's doing his video. I don't watch him, but I can tell you what he's doing. Like when he talks, he's probably he's being real antsy, and then he'll be cool. And then he'll be cool because he's trying to calm down, because he'll notice. Because they know themselves. Because when you work out, you be around other people who, you're not just doing steroids on your own. He's around other people who are doing the steroids. So they're telling him the stuff that's going to happen to him. Like, this stuff goes on. This is regular. They're having those conversations. Well, if you take it, you got to make sure you're doing this, you're doing that. And that means, so the adrenaline doesn't, because people think when you take the steroids, the adrenaline is just going to be there when you go to the gym. No, not at all. You're only going to go to the gym for an hour, 2 hours. That ejection you just put inside your body, that's going on for who knows how long. Because I don't know, there's plenty of steroids out there. I don't know which one he took, but I know that it didn't go away in 2 hours, whatever enhancer he took. Right. And that continues on in your all-day activity. Everything you do is, I'm big and swole. Like, that's what they do, on steroids. It's like, how people, that's why we're vegan, because we know that with meat and stuff, what that does to our body, that's another thing. Steroids is another thing. You're not supposed to be putting that into your body, because you know what it's going to do to your body. You know what it's going to do. And that's not conscious community. That's why these guys, they play themselves. Sitting here watching it, I'm like, come on, you guys, how that's like when Taharka and who was Taharka and Lord Alba was debating. I'm like, how?
Oh, y'all debating.
How are y'all debating?
Yeah. But they stay ear hustling. They stay ear hustling. So Nini, Indian now. So when we look as far as what we see. This is not the look of the Olmecs and certain people. When we say the natives here, when we talk about the original people in the Americas, we know that it's copper tone, which is very specific. In the history of the native whatever, I don't think you heard them speak like this. Now, as we go through, we're going to put our own reference points in to stress the point that people know that is what the Moors are talking about is really where it's at. And that we're going into this avenue where the so-called Black Indians, Aboriginal, whatever tribe, nation, or whatever that they claim that they are, don't talk like this. Now, either they're studying from some European freemen or they're studying from Moors. Because we know that these quote unquote Aboriginals, these ones, we know these ones know that they're not the first. But how he talks is not like how the Black Indians talk. Which automatically disqualifies them, but they know that if they talk like this, they will be classified as Moors. And they have a good amount of people abandoning their birthright as Moors to claim some tribal nation that they have no jurisdiction over.
Here in Santa Fe with an indigenous warrior, Ni Ne, from Dene Bikea and Oglala Sioux Nations. And he has a fascinating story about resisting the judicial system by asserting his sovereign rights as a Native national. And so, what's your story?
Thank you, Ethan. camera for taking interest to record this for the people to understand better what sovereignty means. As a Diné from Tudicini clan, born for the Bitani clan. I am originally from Sayed, and also I come by way of the Oglala Sioux Nation with a passport issued from the Lakota Sioux Nation.
All right. So, what's he saying that they're not saying? Oh, in our little whatever over here, we have our own identification. That we get from our jurisdiction. Not even go. They called it a passport and all that stuff. Not even going there. We're still waiting for the black whoever's to show us some right now identification that they say who they are, whether they're Hebrew, ancient Egyptian, whatever it is that they claim. Okay, just prove it. Show some papers, cards, something to prove your identity. Have nothing to show. But here come these later natives talking how Moors talk. Yeah, we have our own identification. Islam, or you have any add-ons? He's muted.
I just have a question because I always hear them say they're tribe and clan, and then all of a sudden, when they start talking, it's a nation. Like, how did that happen? how could you be a tribe, clan, and then a nation? Like, I don't, because that's not a nationality. that's not a nationality. And then, like, was the first thing they said, it was a sovereign. What was it? A sovereign native indigenous or something like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is that? What is all that? How could you be a sovereign?
Let's pull that up again. Just pull it up again.
What's your story?
Thank you.
No, the dude who introduced him, he says it.
For taking it.
Oh, the dude that's introducing him?
Mm-hmm. He says it.
Here in Santa Fe with an indigenous warrior, Ne from Diné Bikea and Oglala Sioux Nations. And he has a fascinating story about resisting the judicial system by asserting his sovereign rights as a native national. And so, what's your story?
Yeah.
Yeah. His sovereign rights as a native national. What's a native national? What's that?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? I never heard. That's color. I never heard of a native national.
Never.
What is that? That's like saying Native American instead of just being the American.
Mm.
You can't be Native German. You never heard of Native Chinese. But now they're national natives. Like, how do you see how they just try to be slick? Like I heard you what you said. That didn't know. I heard you. You're not gonna get past that. Like I heard that. That was covered. You just put this whole thing just went right back into jurisdiction. Just because it's the way he introduced them.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing was covered. That's like a Moor getting introduced, and he lets the guy introduce him as African American black, and he don't correct it.
Yeah, right.
Like what? You better correct that. You better don't let that put you in jurisdiction back in that. Put you in the slavery. He just put you back in the Christian black codes. Right back. Just because off an introduction. No. And that's as soon as I heard it, I said, "Oh, okay. Whatever goes on from here, he's already in trouble. He didn't correct it. That stands as law."
Yeah. Acquiescence.
Yep. That stands as law. Just because he didn't respond.
Ethan.
Yeah.
Your camera for taking interest to record this for the people to understand better what sovereignty means. As a Dene from Puducherry clan, born for the Brittany clan. I am originally from Sayed, and also I come by way of the Oglala Sioux Nation with a passport issued from the Lakota Sioux Nation, who have recognized their independence from the government of Washington. And I have renounced U.S. citizenship and returned to sovereignty as a national of the Dene Bikeya and also the Lakota Brien Independent Nation. And I have
Now, we're really saying that they're Moorish national. And their tribe is what he's claiming the nation is. Because regardless of how you want to put it, these are not the originals. And while we were asleep and these people got their culture, now we woke up and we're seeing them around here and we're thinking that they've been around here before the Moors. And we're leaving out that they've known that it was Moors over here. Even put this one again. We are all Moors. In his book, La Herencia Medieval de Mexico, Louis Wetman makes the connection between Moor and Indian in the eye of the conquistador unambiguous. The Hieronymite friars referred to the inhabitants of Hispaniola as these Moors.
Period. And I ain't even got the book in front of me. I done read that line so many times. Period. As these Moors.
These Moors.
Like they had it sound like what they be saying now, these Moors. Like they were just tired of seeing us everywhere. Look, these Moors.
These Moors. Shaking the fist.
Like them.
Yeah, shaking the fist.
Yep. These Moors had a full-blown attitude. That's exactly who it was when he came here.
Yep.
They found mosque and everything.
They found it all. Now we also want to make reference a reference to who are the Moors, Asiatics, Americans. Are you in denial of your ancestry? Part 2. Mizraim Aleph El. Moors, Americans, Asiatics are not Indians in the sense we use the word Indian to mean indigenous. It is still not an identity. It is an adjective, which means a description. Why does this lawfully and legally matter? Because we are Moors, Americans, lineal descendants of the true possessors of the American land, and there is no one who is able to change man from the descent nature of his forefathers, unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator Allah himself. Ancestral estates are such as are transmitted by descent and not by purchase, there being no other consideration than that of blood. So if these individuals are making any type of claim they're doing that because of them being on the ancestral estate. So by descent, there's only one way that they can talk. And that's you better talk national and nationhood, even if you have to fake stuff. When we're talking about that you're Indians, they made up some stuff and said native national. They made one up. Again, it goes back to lessons to everybody. Honor thy father and mother. Stop being bullface and not giving honors. There's a lot more.
It's on.
You got anything to add?
Just add on real quick. In the book, oh yeah, the book Brother Sheldon had put us on a couple classes back that I had missed live, killing myself. That I caught the class, and he gave us a book called Time Walker, and written by quote unquote Native American, right? The book is again called Time Walker. The brother was born in 1929, if I'm not mistaken, 1926. He's born in December. Okay, he was okay. I'll read it. He was born on the Sesatone West Chaton Sioux Reservation, December 19th, 1926. It says in the introduction, right, in the book he wrote, Time Walker. It says, first paragraph, I am by birth an Indian of the Americas, which is an identity translated from the medieval concept in languages Los Indios, meaning those without God. Okay, let me read that again. Let me read that again. It says, I am by birth an Indian of the Americas, which is an identity translated. So Indian, which is an identity translated from the medieval concept in languages Los Indios, meaning those without God. Again, that's the book Time Walker that Brother Sheldon put out in class, and when he was talking about it, I was like, "What kind of book is that?" So I had to go look it up. Started read. I read the introduction, and I was like, "Man, Sheldon was being polite. He was being polite because he could have killed him. He could, but he killed him anyway. He was already. That's what made me go look up the book because he killed it.
Yeah."
I was going crazy. I was like, man, what is this? And then right in the introduction, I said, wow. And this is coming from a so-called Indian who told you, oh, that's a medieval concept. If you're dealing with identity, it means Los Indios, those without God. That's what the Indian is.
Mm-hmm. Now we know nature is a God and all that stuff, so they're saying they have no God. Right.
Been incarcerated, detained for the past 9 months for an invalid driver's license that is this passport issued from the Lakota Free and Independent Nation. I have
Right. Get their ear hustling. They stay ear hustling. I don't think that people are dropping something that didn't get put on the record already. Right. Trust me, nobody was talking about anybody being independent, anything. From the proper perspective of being independent. Because to be that, you have to be part of a nation. First things first. Forget all the rights you're going to get from being a national of that nation. You have to show allegiance to that nation first. This is why we're noticing now, even when you're talking about people getting kidnapped and stuff like that or whatever. It's like, no, they're holding people to test them to see if they're really real. If you're really real, they will let you go. Let's see how real you are. Are you really a Moor? Are you really about your nationality and birthrights, or are you just trying to get out of something? Tell people, if your perspective is getting this information, just like how he's talking, you know, I had a valid driver's license, but now I have a passport, which is given to me from the whatever, and you know, I'm free and independent now because this group gave me something. That's not the concept. That's definitely not the concept. Because the right of this is something that the rights is something that you have adopted. It was given to you. But it was given to you because you are part of something. It's not given to you just because it's to give. It's given to you because you're admitting allegiance. So every time we bring up colonists, that's why they always go to the contract. Because that's how they create their allegiance with us to them. With their adhesion contracts. So once they have a contract, that proves that you're in allegiance with them. Because why would you have a contract if you're not? Again, you don't even hear our people speaking from this perspective. Even though it's colored, it's less colored than the stuff these black whoever's are talking about. They're at least towing the line of national. If they weren't going so hard on national, they wouldn't talk about having their own jurisdiction. But again, they're foreigners. Because we know Bering Strait and certain people have eyes like certain people that aren't from here. It's not you have to leave, but you need to get in line with what's really going on. Like we had spoke about those two articles.
Right.
And so Daily Mail, the age where you could walk from New York to Morocco. How countries of today would look 300 million years ago. Why would they pick those two places? They could say walk from anywhere to anywhere. Why did Morocco have to be in there?
They could have said any other place, man. Any other place.
A new map of Pangaea. Remember, this is 2013. A new map of Pangaea, the supercontinent, shows where modern-day countries would have been located in the ancient landmass. Then they say they found Africa under Florida and Africa under Uruguay and Africa under New York, and this is why. So now There's the river that the Hebrews crossed over right there. Right? There's the river right there. There's the river that they crossed over in order to be on this side and talking about Ben Ishmael tribe and all that stuff. All right. Right. It's a lot easier for, you know, us to be here. But again, you know, once you take out all the names of whatever, it is what it is. So you can't tell me that this is some turtle island.
Right.
Well, yeah, we've been here since ancient time. We call this Turtle Island. You call what Turtle Island? What do you call Turtle Island? This? But then on the other hand, a lot of those people talking about Turtle Island are late people. So they can't even fathom this. Because I don't care what anybody says. This is not a turtle. It doesn't look like a turtle. It has nothing to do with a turtle. I wouldn't even say it looks like anything. It's just a landmass.
Oh, that's why all those pyramids are in Brazil.
Let's go back there again. What's that?
So that's why all those pyramids are in quote unquote Brazil.
Yep.
Why didn't they say you could have walked from Brazil to the Congo? Why didn't they say that?
Right.
Look how little Morocco is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just chose that. They could have said anything.
Set a precedence with this passport driver's license. State of Oregon, federal courts of the Oglala Sioux tribe, Pioneer, South Dakota, also in New York, Bombay Town Court, and a last and recent case is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, through the 2nd Judicial District Court and the Metropolitan Court, also Sandoval County District Court. I have represented myself pro se in these cases.
All right. Represented yourself?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just start there. If you have anything to add more with the represent.
I know you more than that be going in there talking about you representing yourself. He just put himself right back in the jurisdiction.
Right in the jurisdiction. Ear hustling.
That's what they get. Just listening to what you call it earlier, ear hustling.
Ear hustling.
Ear hustling Moorish videos and trying to flip it so it can squeeze into what you want it to be. Like it don't work like that.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's not gonna work. As soon as you try that, you put yourself right in the jurisdiction.
Right.
Majid, you said it the best, man. We are all Moors.
We are all Moors. Anwar Majid. Right, so keep in mind that a lot of these like the federally recognized Indians number in the 500 something. There's 500 and something federally recognized Indian whatever. And then there's the non-Indians, the non-federally recognized. Now, the ones that federally recognize, they can go into these courts and talk about pro se and represent themselves. Because we already know that we're supposed to be going in there in propria persona, not pro se. But why can they represent themselves? Because they're going pro se. That's why they can represent themselves. And again, when people have their court whatever, but they don't have any documents to show you, like something from it to show you, to say, yeah, I went to this building. Some type of transcripts. Something. If there's nothing to show, be wary. And if there is something to show, go through that with a fine-tooth comb. Take that as is because, oh yeah, somebody said that they did this lawsuit, so I'm going to just take that and apply it to me because it worked for them. You better go through that thoroughly. Right. Never pro se. Because then again, if you go pro se, you also have to go motions now. You can't go affidavits. Which is another get you in the jurisdiction game. Because they want to play like they can only deal with motions. You can't deal with affidavits. Why not? You're a court. What do you mean? You say you're a court where you can't deal with affidavits? You could only deal with motions? And then motions is at court's discretion, not mine? I don't want to do motion. If I'm pro se, we have no choice but to do motion. Because I'm in the jurisdiction. And there's more who would say pro se. Yeah, you can go pro se and win as pro se. You have anything to add on more?
Yeah, no, because it was just because him putting himself in the jurisdiction. That's like, because I already know, because people will listen to this video and be like, I'm like taking notes and trying to do word for word exactly what he just said.
Yeah.
And being there talking about I'm going to represent myself.
Yeah.
And then whatever his And then, you know, they're going in there using Smith, Jones, and Johnson names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, under the guise
You know,
of that, we were classified as Negroes, but we were Indians in the roles of whatever.
right. Which is right back to jurisdiction, because nobody looked up census. And then when you look up census, if you on any census roll with these foreigners, they're putting you in jurisdiction.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and that's what before it slipped my mind. Soon as they started talking about, oh, the federal government recognized us as whatever. Remember, once you know who you are and they are, you can't no foreigner recognize you. How you recognize me? Especially us Moors. We recognize the European. Obama told them that.
Mm-hmm.
We recognize them. So as soon as they say, oh, the Moors are not recognized by the how? We got the treaty from back in the day that said we recognize them.
Yeah.
We can never have anything to say.
Got the letter from George.
We're recognized by the federal how?
Yeah.
That's an oxymoron. So I always be wary when people start saying, "Oh, well, they're federally recognized," and I'm like, "Well, that sounds like they in jurisdiction." That's what I heard. Because we recognize them. We're not the people that getting recognized. How? These are how can a foreigner recognize you? This you have company at your house and they talking now you they company, but this your house. You asking them, can you get something to drink in your refrigerator? But that's your company.
Yeah.
Because they gotta recognize you, they gotta respect you in your own house. So now you can't do nothing, you gotta get their permission. This your company in your own house. Who you invited over.
Mm-hmm.
Now you saying they gotta recognize me before I go do what? What? This your house. I thought this was your house. You was indigenous, aboriginal, all the talking this. Why do you gotta get permission or being recognized? Why you gotta be recognized first in order to be that?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were just that.
Right.
You have to be recognized by colonists first to be that. That sounds fraud.
In your own house.
That's in your own house. In your own house. You look crazy making videos like this. And it's hundreds of videos like that. People say, using those words.
Thousands, bro.
Using those exact words, not knowing what they say. Just like when the brother called him a national native. He thinking he's saying something good.
Yeah.
Really. You sound ridiculous saying something like that. What's that?
On the other side of it, things are recorded, so that could be part of the stuff, part of the script.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This Morocco.
Yeah.
With no public pretenders, no lawyer representing me but myself, and I managed to get my cases dismissed with prejudice and one without prejudice, that I am now in an appeal with to get it dismissed for lack of jurisdiction, as I am not a citizen pursuant.
No. I don't know. Nobody talk about lack of jurisdiction other than Morris.
That's it.
I don't know anybody. I don't hear sovereign citizens talk like that. I don't hear free man on the land talk like that. Especially in 07, 08 when we came into this. There's definitely no free man or whatever talking crazy. Like they know something. Because all those guys were at Moore's classes during them times. Just like some of these people were taking classes with Moors to know this. That these people don't got jurisdiction. How? If we're the Aboriginal and Indigenous, how do they have jurisdiction? How are they able to have it? No, I keep talking about this jurisdiction. Page 10. Truth about your birthrights. It must be known and understood by the suppressed Moors of the North that the European slaveholding families who colonized North America systematically removed the names, the religion, and the nationality from all defeated Moors and branded them as Negroes, blacks, coloreds, and Ethiopians. The European bondholders of human chattel then put their own family names or cognomen upon their booty or prize, Moors, and laid liens and bonds upon them. The imposed cognomen, last name, of the European slaveholders denotes chattel possession and an evidence of bondage. So you can say that you're not citizen, but if you're one of the federally recognized 500 and whatever Indian nation / tribes that they recognize, you're in the jurisdiction. And these little tickets that people are beating have nothing to do with them exercising rights. It's a BS ticket. Not even prosecutable. But they would use that again to get our people to give their energy to them, build their stuff up, because they already know how the Negroes do. They don't want to be Moors. We could use them. We could use them all we want. And they will do nothing but take the abuse. Then you hear people start talking about they're not citizens and things like that. Recognize that they've been definitely listening to Moors. There's a lot more. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the same thing. Because that's where all the information comes from. I've you never heard none of this information until the Moors started bringing it around. Oh, because look, they would just do their little powwows and have their meetings and stuff, get-togethers, looking like more powwows. They never would get up there and talk about law or being a citizen and stuff, like stressing the fact
cases,
of that.
Yeah, going to court, beating cases or whatever.
Right. Never. As You've never
Native,
heard that ratio.
Yeah, Native American standing on their rights. No way.
Never.
They might stand on their rights at some, you know, railway pipeline, whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, they might go march on the lawn of somebody's whatever, but saying that they're doing what Moors do, I mean, you're going to court and you're standing up for stuff, but you're on a reserve or something.
Mm-hmm.
Pursuant to the Code 8 USC Section 1401. But I am a free and independent sovereign national of the Nebukaya.
Right. Sovereign national. Sovereign national.
Right. That's an oxymoron.
Just like you can't.
How you do that? How you do that?
Yeah.
You would just be a national. You just be a Moor. You only could be a Moor. See, that's why they use those words. Because they don't want to say.
They want to say more.
They don't want to say more.
Say everything.
That's what it is.
To not say more. Or are they compromised to not say more? So they just make up stuff.
Thank you for reminding me. Because I wanted to look up something, but I wasn't sure. So see, I knew it was. Yeah, go look up Cherokee Lodge 10 AS and AM. Go look up the Knights of the Golden Circle with the American Indians of the United States.
Knights of the Golden Circle?
Yeah. Go look. You think these so-called once you go look up who their Cherokee or whoever chief guy is, it's a European. And then once you type in any tribe and put Freemasonry behind it, I bet you the lodge pop up. I don't care what lodge you type in. I mean, what tribe you type in. They all sold out. They all wear fezzes in secret. All of them. All of them had them so-called Indians at that pipeline, and all their chiefs got a fez at home. All of them. Even some of the people that was standing in that pipeline, they got fezzes at home. And they'll fight and stand there and get sprayed with hoses, shot at, kicked, all of that to keep that secret. What is it? What else? Whatever. Who else I was going to type in? Type in any of them tribes. Type in Native American Freemasonry. They pop up. They make it seem like, and then coming out of the Oxford Etymology Dictionary, not, because they complain when we use the online etymology. So coming out of the Oxford Etymology, Oxford Dictionary of the English Etymology. The word Indian, they wasn't even using the word Indian until the 17th century in the dictionary, etymology. Wasn't even using the word till the 17th century. But we already shared the video with so-called Native American or Indian. They'll tell you they don't like those words.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll tell you. They'll tell you. But our people
But
love.
they like to use words like First Nation or First People.
Yeah, yeah.
But
5
those are
civilized
all
tribes.
made up modern names that they're using.
Yeah.
That doesn't refer to your ancient people, your ancient bloodline. Your ancient bloodline wasn't going around saying that. They were saying what their nationality was, who they was. That's like what Reggie said. When they asked him what was his nationality, he said he was a sultan. It's the same thing. It's the same answer they given. They weren't dealing with nationalities. He was
a sultan.
Conversation over.
Conversation over.
Nice. From International Parliament, Secretary of State, League of Indian Nations of North America, and I didn't Parliament, Secretary of State for lack of jurisdiction, as I am not a citizen pursuant to the Code 8 USC Section 1401, but I am a free and independent sovereign national of Guinea-Bissau, recognized from International Parliament, Secretary of State, League of Indian Nations of North America. And
no, you're national. You're in League of Indian Nations. Something wrong there. There's no way you're national and you're sovereign, but you're Indian. Once you're Indian, you're under those bureau affairs that have nothing to do with Aboriginal indigenous people. It has to do with the colonizer. But again, at least they're making the attempt. The Aboriginal Autochtons who are dark skinned, they don't even talk like this. They're not about birthright. If they're about birthright, they would be calling themselves Moors, not Autochthonous and all that.
And I didn't take no plea bargains.
That's good.
I went through the motions of the judicial process, which is corrupt within itself. When they know from the judge, attorney generals, chief justice, governors, mayors, know that they have no jurisdiction over sovereign nationals.
You told me they're not ear hustling? They ran into some RV bay or something. Trust they ran into some Moors.
They have jurisdiction over their citizens, but not we, the indigenous people. They know sovereign to sovereign relation, which they are violating every day.
Got that right.
There are many of our brothers and sisters, relatives, detained, incarcerated, in prison, away from their families because of this corruption in the judicial system. There is no legal way for me and any indigenous people to be citizens. It's codified as an alien. I didn't wash up from any boat. I didn't come on any boat. I've been here.
What do you have to do to assert your
Hold on. Who he talking about? Who he talking about? Washing up on no boat. I thought that. What do he mean by that?
He's saying
they not the slave. They not supposed to be no slavery and all like that. He sounded like he was listening to the more too hard. He was listening to the more too hard. You should admit it. Wait, hold on. You wasn't supposed to say that part. You was listening too hard. That came straight from the more.
Any indigenous people, corruption in the judicial system. There is no legal way for me and any indigenous people to be citizens. It's codified as an alien. I didn't wash up from any boat. I didn't come on any boat. I've been here.
we know that part. What do you mean?
What do you have to do to assert your rights as a sovereign person, not subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S. courts?
Well, it starts at your birth. And government and the court judicial system will tell you because of the Citizenship Act, also known as the Snyder Act. For all of those native North American tribal people who have joined in the Bilicanas, the Wasichus, wars, because of that act, it made us automatically citizens, newborn and unborn, which is codified as 8 USC 1401, aliens. And then when your grandmothers, they decide to give birth in the white man's hospitals, the nurse, the doctor, they come and push their clipboard with their application, which is the SS5 application for a social security card, which also translates.
Come on, Gracie. We've never heard them talk like this.
They don't talk like this.
Never.
They don't talk like this. They do not talk like this. No
never.
Way. No way.
Never. Not even the Indian guy who was up there talking with Farrakhan.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't even talk like this.
Yeah.
But they won't say that word. They'll walk the plank. They'll straddle the fence. But they'll never say that 4-letter word.
No way.
They won't say it.
Quick excerpt. U.S. nigger industry. Page 28. Throughout all modern human relations and unique to all the world's histories, achievements, and developments, the nigger industry stands alone as the holy pride and the pinnacle of economic stock among all the modern world's European conquests. This industry of niggerdom, based on lies and birthright theft, is their main economic source of chattel food and is the colorable seized resource supplier for cannon fodder availed to the U.S. colonizing crusader inquisitionists. The mental and social conditioning For this source of human energy and essence has been and is the sorcery-derived creation of and the blind faith-taught cultural acceptance of the Negro mental, social, civil zombieism fiction. The usable social, political, and extroverting economic generating power, as expressed by and through it, the Negro mental zombie creation, was and is further reinforced by traditionally published blind faith assurances of it as being a historical fact implied as a part of the human family member's consanguine reality. There is more to explain and to examine on the consanguine subject matter. We will deal with that later and treat. All right, so what he's talking about, birth certificates and all that stuff, and get SIN number and get this, that, and you become the corporate whatever. All that stuff started with the Negro. Again, people are late. Late people. Ear hustling and then trying to put it back to you so then you can go run join their stuff, not realizing that they're using your stuff. They're directly talking just how Morris talk.
So it's illegal in every state, in all 50 of these incorporated states, for your mother, your father, to make a contract, an application for a minor. And that's how you begin your life, as a slave, surveillance number, and a piece of stock that is shopped around in the stock market, stock exchange. As you look at your birth certificate.
Huh?
I said, come on, man. Where's Taj must be holding up signs for him to read as he's doing the video. It's Taj standing behind the cameraman with signs saying, "You'll just read right here, just keep going." Yep. Right here. Yep. Because he sounds just like a Moor. I've never seen nothing like that. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a Moor talking? I mean, that's a Moor, but where's your feds?
Yeah. Yeah, well, like the Moor said in the chat, why is your feather in the back, not in the front?
Right.
It looks like a title. Is a title. A slave title. That's how Benjamin Franklin kept track of his Thomas Jefferson. This is how they kept track of their slaves, their niggers, their titles, with numbers.
They're saying as any person born in this country receives a social security number when they're born, and that makes them a ward of the state. But you as an adult have renounced that citizenship, and successfully, from what you're saying, you've defended that in the courts and you've had charges dismissed. So what do other adults need to know about how to do this?
To the people who wish to get free from the slave surveillance number, you can go on to the website and do it legally, which is quit Social Security.
Through the Social Security Administration?
Yes.
So all that national stuff, all that national talk, then it comes right back around to going back in the jurisdiction. But again, at least they're sneak studying.
Yeah, you gotta give them that, right?
Huh?
At least they're doing that, right?
At least they're ear hustling Mars.
Can't go to any local social security office and ask for this documents. They will call the security and escort you away from the building. They don't want the people to know about this.
You can find it online by looking up Quit Social Security.
Right. And get the documents, understand them, read them thoroughly, and get them notarized, send it to the IRS, send them to...
Whoa, back in the jurisdiction.
Back in the jurisdiction. Get notarized. So all you black Indians, autochthonists, whoever's out there, I know that you're making claims. Did you get a notary? Did a notary seal any of your stuff, black Indian guys? I don't care if it was an Indian notary. You're in the jurisdiction. I don't care if it's Aboriginal, Indigenous, Autochthonous, notary, commissioner of taking oaths. You're still in the jurisdiction.
To the Baltimore, Maryland address, and also to your local Social Security Administration. And you should receive a receipt stating that your number has been withdrawn. In my case, they didn't do this. So I've had to fight them through the legal system. And I have victory 6 times. I've beat them. And I beat them in Oregon. I beat them in...
But just know that everybody's ear hustling from Mars. So do like them and no more daily. Don't be like the 2 guys back and forth and with some BS. At least start studying. At least start finding yourself around some good Moors. Do your best. Find yourself around some good Moors, so you don't get caught up in any of this BS. Playing people or getting played. There's a lot more.
Islam. That's what they better do. And that's the thing, too. And we already know. Study, study, study. Because if you're not studying, you're easily going to get tricked. That's why I said it a while back, too. I'm glad I came into the information when I did. Because if you coming into it now, like I said, somebody going to watch that video right now and think, because of what Dan Calloway done said, they're going to run into this guy on the video. He's going to be sounding good and like, oh, he sounds like the Moors, but he's not saying he's a Moor. He's practicing law. You know, he's beating cases by not saying he's a Moor. So they're going to use this guy now. And now you going to go in there trying to be Chief Feather whatever guy. But you're gonna go in there, Smith, Jones, and Johnson. You're not gonna be that under the guise of oh, I'm Native Indian guy. No, you're not. No, you're not going to do it. You're not going to be able to do it. You're not. It's a setup. I'm looking at. I'm like, man, they about to set people up. If they lit, and like you said earlier too, I don't see no paperwork. You can go to Mariana Blaze channel, and you can watch all the felonies he dismissed, get the DVD, the book, everything. You know, he got all the proof you want. But this guy's just sitting in front of a tree telling you this is what he did. Like I'm finding that hard to believe.
Straight up.
I need to see something. Much problems they give Morris, as soon as the Morris say something. Morris be on video on YouTube showing people they got taxes taken off, and they'll still be like, "We're not Morris." And it's like, dude, you saw the video, you saw everything go down, and you're still like, "We're not Morris," or you're like my aunt. You're just against the government, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'll take my aunt shopping, and I'll take the taxes off or whatever. And I remember the first time I did it, she was like, "Oh, you're just against the government." I was like, "Oh wow, like that's what she got out of that." I never thought to think somebody would say something like that. Yeah. I didn't heard it all, auntie. I told her I didn't even deal with it. I just was like, "Oh, I never heard that one." You know, because I done been through so much with it. You know, I done heard almost all of them. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh wow, that's a new one. That's a new one. You're just against the government." I'm like, what? I never thought that. I never thought. First of all, your comment was colored, but that was crazy what you just said. You know,
you're just against the government. Against Walmart? What you mean?
What do you mean?
They do nothing to Walmart.
They did nothing to Walmart. Nothing.
There's a lot more. Peace and love to all the Moors, wherever you're at. You already know how it goes. Just doing our little piece to try to help wake up our people out here. Islam to all. Chat Moors. I was going through this thing. You Moors had me dying.
Yep.
Your stomach, Mother Fatima. My stomach. Holding back from laughing while Yusuf's talking. These Moors in the chat. Oh yeah, what's the author for Time Walker? One of the Moors asking.
Oh. I gotta look it up.
Sometime was it Madeline something?
Let's see right now. I forgot the title, the name of the
title. Yeah, Meredith Quinn.
Yep.
Meredith Quinn.
Tripped me out saying that, man. I said, "Oh my goodness, did you really just break me up first sentence?" I'm letting you know. And then in addiction, he said it's a medieval concept. So I'm like, okay, that's 15th century. And then I'm like, wait a minute. In the dictionary, it tell you the word Indian came out in the 16th century. That's the 1500s. It makes correlative with what the brother was speaking about in his book. Same year. And when it came, and that's right around the Spanish Inquisition. Same time. Everything goes around 1492, 1500. Everything. As soon as it's something to do with bad with the Moors, it's around that time, 1500, 1492. 1500, 1492. It was another document too, Gracie, I had sent you that shows you that you can walk. What was it saying? New Jersey and Morocco was next to each other at one time?
Oh yeah. Hold on, let me put I had that one here too. when you could walk from Jersey to Africa.
Right. Now, when I first saw that, that one really bugged me out because I was like, oh, that's why I know Wuju Ali started Old Canaanite Temple in Newark, New Jersey first.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, I said, but this article wasn't written for almost another 100 and something years.
Yeah. He was on the
You know what I mean? I'm like, remember that picture, if he behind me all the time, I stand there, I look at him, and I just shake my head. I be like, man, I don't know who you are, but you're it. You can do some powerful, and I'm like, dang, man, out of all the places, you just chose that place.
Yeah.
And then an article comes out and says, oh, you could have walked from Morocco from New Jersey to Africa. I'm like, oh, okay. That's why that don't make sense.
everything adds up.
Right, now, okay. Because he didn't just choose that place. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't just come back and be like, oh, quote unquote Jersey is a good spot. Like, nah. He lined that up. He lined that up. He's an Egyptian Adam. Of course, everything he has to deal with, astronomical, mathematical, cosmology, anything, before he does any plans. I was going crazy when I saw that. I really was. I was going crazy.
Yeah. Shit. Islam Moors. Peace and love to all. We shall reconvene maybe Wednesday, Thursday or something. See what's going on in the world.
Yeah, Islam to the Moors in the chat.
Yeah, peace to the chat Moors for staying true.
Oh, Green Sheep.
Yeah, man.
And give thanks to your platform.
Give
because
thanks, man. Give thanks, yo.
And for real, man, because I saw that Farrakhan video you put up, and I know for a fact if you, the other Moors that's, master teachers that's been putting in the work, if you guys didn't do what y'all did, Farrakhan would not be doing that video. It's y'all putting that pressure on him to be doing what he's doing right now. With the feds and all of that. Showing Noble Drew Ali on the projection screens and all of that. That's y'all Moors putting that pressure on him to have to do that.
Islam.
Because if it wasn't for y'all, he'll still be going around with his, black hoopla.
Yeah, right? Straight.
He's getting so much pressure about the the feds, and, Elijah's brother. Like, it's too much stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you have to address this.
Yeah. Address that before you address some black guy talking BS.
Right. So I give big thanks to you, Grand Sheik, for y'all work, man, that y'all do. Because that's changing. That's changing. You know what I mean? This man is responsible for the Million Man March. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the work that y'all doing, the pressure y'all putting on him, he has to reevaluate some of the things that he's putting out. Because he knows he's getting looked at everywhere now. From every which angle.
Straight. Like Brother Inyan said, all he has to do is put the sign back up.
Right. Oh my goodness. They still got the sign. They probably still got the sign. They still got it.
That'll be crazy.
They still got it.
That'll be the one. You want to do something? Do that.
Right.
Let's put that sign back up.
Right. And tell your boys to give us our prophet's chair back. Those are your boys.
We want the chair. Yeah, we want the chair. I don't care.
We want the chair back and put the sign up. And we good. We can call it a trade for that moment.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna forget what y'all did at all. But that'll make me happy for the moment.
And Brother Jeremy just said, he took the fez out so fast. It reminded me of when Puffy, when J Electronica put the fez on Puffy. He said, I don't want none of this. Yep. I don't want none of this. I don't want any of this. Get this fez off me right now.
Yep. He was in the moment. He was like, oh yeah, the fez. And then he realized,
He realized, hold on a second. Everybody's clapping and looking at me right now with the fez on.
Yep.
Too much attention.
Y'all trying to get me killed.
Straight.
Yeah, he took that fez off immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Quick fast, yo. Quick fast. Peace and love to all.
In the video you put up too with R. Kelly's bodyguard.
Oh yeah, Islam to Mantis Views 29. That was Ms. sent me that.
Oh, Ms. too. Oh yeah, man.
Ms. sent me that. Like, hey, does that look like a Circle 7? I'm like, yeah, that's definitely a Circle 7, yo. And then
that is crazy.
And actually, it was somebody gave me the idea to do the zoom in too, because I sent it to one of the boys. I guess they watched it and they screenshotted the real view, you know.
Right.
That was funny.
Because I'm like, yo, first of all, where'd you get it from? Amor made that for you.
Yep. Yeah.
Amor made that. You got that from a
Morris something.
Off the internet. That you can't just go into the store and buy that. You got that from a Morris something.
Don't worry, Jeffrey. When that box gets there, Brother Yusuf, Brother Jeffrey's getting this fez for the first time.
Oh man.
You get that box, about to be on.
I remember my brother, I put the video up a couple of years ago when my brother got his fez for the first time.
Yeah.
That video was crazy. I watched that video like 100 times.
That's still on your thing? Let me go find that quick fast. It's still on your thing, right?
No. That's not on my. No, that's on when I had the Facebook.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. That was on that. That was on that. It was but it was, man. That was a beautiful. You could see like the twinkle in his eye.
Yeah,
you know how that's like it's a cartoon. And I'm like, yo, why did his eyes light up like that? I've never seen nobody's eyes like that. I had to keep watching it.
For real.
And he did the sound effects. I was like, yo. He was like, I said, is it cold? He was like, yep. Put it on. He was going through the whole effect, man. That first moment is big time. It's big time. I remember the first time I put my fez on. I told the story to the Grand Sheik before, and this was years ago. It was good hearing that. I shared the Duke of Tears, his comment about if you're gonna wear a regular hat one day, Tuesday wear a kufi, and all the way to Friday. He said Friday get a wear your fez. So I didn't, Friday came, I wore my fez, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna wear my fez. And I didn't realize till later that he chose Friday. Friday is a holy day, but he never even said that, but it clicked in my head, like, that's why he said it. But so first day I wear it, I walk outside, I'm on the phone with my sister. I'm telling you the whole story. Yeah, I'm on the phone with my sister because I'm, going through man, I got this fez on my head. I don't know what they're going to be saying, my sister, so I'm on the phone with my sister, I walk out. My sister, she gets off the phone. Well, even get off and she hangs up the phone or whatever. So I'm walking to the conveyance. I'm looking out outside. It's an elder standing outside, walking up the street, and he looks at me. He goes. He puts his hand on his chest, right? He goes. He says, "What are you?" He goes, "What are you?" With his hand on his chest. I said, "I'm a Moor." And he goes, I said, "Oh, I'm a Moor." He goes, "Oh, Islam, Moor." And I was like, "What?" Like, it bugged me out so much, right? I'm on the way this whole day, right? So because I'm going to the grocery store at the time, but that day was amazing because that was the same day I went to the grocery store. The clerk, are you a prince? You know what I mean? She was going crazy over this. Is that same day she asks me if I'm a prince, and then she looks to the left, looks to the right, and is like, "You can tell me." And I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" like, wait a minute, what do you mean? And then
Twilight Zone. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm going crazy. But the thing about the elder, I never seen this man ever again to this day. You know, I've never seen him again. You know, and like he was there, like he'd be here. You know, like comfortable T-shirt on. You know, like and I'm like, who is this guy? You know, he was across the street at my neighbor's yard, and I was like, who? I've never seen him before, and still haven't seen him to this day. He was the first person I seen when I came out the house, and I haven't seen him. And that I get to the store, the clerk. Next person who talks to me is the clerk, and she's like, "Are you a prince?" And to this day, another day, it just hit me. I never seen that. I still go to that grocery store. I still never seen her. Never seen her again.
Oh, wow.
Never seen her again. You know, it could have just been the ancestors just there. Like, boy, you all right, man. You good. You know, you're all right. Because I've never seen these people ever again. Ever. This was years ago. Years ago. I still go to that grocery store. I'm still living in the same house, domicile. I still domicile here. I've never seen the guy across the street ever again. All of that from where my birthday, wearing my fez. And my sister going crazy. She's like, "You should write a book. You should write a book." And I thought about it. But I think a lot of Moors, we should all put that, you know, all our stories together and put that together.
For real.
You know, our first.
That's a crazy one. That would be a crazy one.
Right. First thing, our first encounter with our feathers on. But you get plenty of more. Plenty. I've done commercials because of my feathers. That was crazy. Doing commercial for the brothers from the East over there.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, just because you know who you are now. Yeah, well, you get to whatever you still get to go over there and get my free tea in the morning. Mm-hmm. it's still, oh, brother, you serve every morning. They're gonna love getting the feds, man. The feds are what? I love that video that the brother put where he was traveling and he had the teacher in the back seat.
Oh yeah.
And he says, "And we're the feds." I was like, yeah. Yeah. And we're the feds. Like, yep, that's all I think about. Every time I put it on, I can hear his voice. Yep. And we're the feds. That's right. That's right. Let him know.
Happy, yo. He was happy.
Let him know, because the world loves seeing us wake up. They love that. And that was another thing. I was in Barnes and Noble. And it was packed. It was so-called I forgot what's one of them holidays, and I had my fez on, and I was in Barnes and Noble on my Moabite, and brother from the East over there sitting there reading this book started getting emotional. I started watering up, but he kept looking at me, smiling. But he was getting emotional, man. His eyes started wearing up, and I was like, man, like this is really bugging him out, seeing me with my headdress on, and like.
Yeah, that happened to Brother Amari. I remember that one happened to Brother Amari too. Went to some church for something. And the freaking pastor was hassling him about you can't wear hats in here or whatever like that. So he was like, okay, whatever. Since this is not my stuff, I'm gonna just go outside or whatever. Went outside, and some man was out there crying, like, I can't believe they did that to you and the feds and all this. Yo, man was losing it. Like, I'm so glad that you wore it and you stood up or whatever like that. Like it was like, I don't know, joy and pain and everything. This man was just balling.
Yep. Where is she? And the power that says, and when me and you and all the Moors, when we was in, I know you remember, when we was near Pittsburgh Corporation, right? We went outside in the back, and we was taking a picture. Remember the Moabite that was sitting in her garden, that was her and her daughter?
Oh, yeah.
The way they were just watching us in awe?
Yeah.
Like, stuck. Like, she looked like she was one of the mothers from the East, and she was like, like, wait a minute. Like, they're back? Like, wait a minute. Like, she wouldn't move. She didn't move. She watched us the whole time. She didn't blink. She didn't move.
Yeah.
She sat right there and just watched us.
Saw the gods for real.
In like a, uniform position. She wasn't like slouched over or nothing like that. She was like,
she was
good, like uniform posture. Boom. Like, I was like, man, this lady is watching, like, this is them right here. All because we're looking like our ancestors.
Straight up.
Because they know who we are.
They know who we are.
It's these Aboriginal, talking, whatever, and this adjectives, all these adjectives you don't know. Third grade grammar.
Messing it up.
Yep.
Talking about, but I got all the answers right. How come I got 0? You didn't put your name on it, you dumbass. So you got 0.
Right.
You do the basic stuff. But you're talking about some nation. Islam told the Moors, honest to the Prophet Noble Juali, honest to you, Brother Yusuf, give thanks for those testimonials right there. That might be the one. You know what? Hey, we'll do it like this way. If you have a way to record, record your Fez testimonial or your turban testimonial. And then you could email it to canaanlandguide@gmail.com. Let's say over the next week. If you got some time, make a little video of your testimonial. What happened when you put your fez on for the first time? And you could use WeTransfer.com if your video happens to be long or something like that. Can't email it. We'll do that. WeTransfer.com. Send the video to Canaanland Guide. CANAANLANDGUIDE. Make sure you put your appellation on the record. And make sure you plug whatever it is that you want to plug before or after your video. And let's see how many we get in the next week, and then we'll upload that as a manifestation of Moors doing something. Since more put it out there in the ethers, let's make it manifest.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love. Islam again to you, Brother Yusuf.
Islam, Grand Sheik. Islam, give thanks.
Islam chat muftis. Peace and love
Oh,
to all the
yeah.
Canaanland Moors, all the worldwide Moors, everywhere, anywhere you're at. Once you know, Islam to you.